Bruh.
Hey, traders, welcome to episode 805 of the show. You could be doing anything but you're here, and I appreciate it. It's Friday, and oh my god, the Mandalorian finale was so good. You need to watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Amazing. So, Bitcoin hasn't really moved today. What's new, man? What's new? Yeah, so, I mean, again, you'd think that the next move is up with the dragon, with the divergence on the MACD and the RSI on a daily time scale, but it was up, but we're just not really going anywhere, just going sideways. So you just can't break above 7,400. Extremely critical area. You know that. Look left, September of 2018. That's a swing high. That is an overhead resistance, and we've broken it, but not for very long. And I'll tell you, as it stands now, there's actually absolutely no accumulation yet, right? We don't have an actual swing low that is, a confirmed swing low where it's a pivot point and rallies again that is higher than the previous one. I mean, in this correction since June 26th, we have only been showing lower lows, and that is still real, okay? Because this, where we are now, just because we're higher than this level doesn't mean there's forms of accumulation at all, okay? Because like the next move could be down where we make an even lower low than this low. So really, when we do bottom out, you want it to be a higher low. You don't really want it going any lower than 6,850, 6,800, man. That's where traders settled up back in late November. And, I'm covering this thing because everyone cares about it. Well, some people care. Nope. Let's be real here. Most people don't give a crap about Bitcoin, as known from viewership and views and all that, unless it's pumping. People just stop caring about Bitcoin when it doesn't pump. All right? Which I think is not a good idea, just because when trades happen, when divergence and good things occur, those people aren't here, or they stop monitoring the asset, and then it breaks the upside, and then they're always coming in later like, well, should I buy now? It's like, well, you had an opportunity when there was divergence, blah blah blah. And, people going long. If this thing was to rally to hit the 618, people are like, should we go long now? It's like, well, man, I mean, probably a higher risk, probably a lot higher risk up here. So, but that's why, like, if you actually really care about trading, you don't look at just Bitcoin, right? You look at many other assets, like the stock market that hit all-time highs again today. Do you really want to look at Ethereum and XRP and Litecoin? I mean, here's the chart. Here's the Ethereum and Litecoin chart. XRP is a little different, a little terrible, but in the short term, this is what it looks like, man. It's like the same thing in a downtrend after a bullish impulse. So something that is more important than Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, all of them combined, is the S&P 500, which again, here it is, gapped up 32.47, and just kind of sideways intraday. Very overbought, extremely overbought. I mean, 78.59, highest levels we've seen since 2018, January 2018, or January, whatever. At that point, we got to 86.7. So pullback, would seem like it would come in time, but that's broken record, right? You think the divergence, you did get a pullback, like a 23% pullback from this previous low to high before rallying again. So you're not actually diverging, but you're nuclear on your RSI, that's for sure. I mean, Dow Jones also hit all-time highs. NASDAQ actually broke its streak where it kept going up. And then the IWM is making, I don't think it's 52-week highs or not. Russell 2000, whatever index, or the ETF. 52-week highs, but at open. And then we it's almost like you could say we bearishly engulfed. I know there's a previous red candle, but that's a big red candle right there. So there's probably lower risk on a back test. One could wait for the IWM to come back to the old area that was once resistance. Maybe we would regard it as support. And maybe a lot of other people have that same mentality. And then it could run again to eventually get back up to September 2018 all-time highs. Right? This thing's been consolidating. And, we were looking at this before it broke out and discuss the context of the consolidation, which I was saying was bullish because the impulse was what set the tone for the range that we were confined in, most of the year. And so now it is broken bullishly. context, man. Big deal. Okay. Can we look at Apple? Of course, Sergio. We'll go there right now. Apple hit the PCZ. I tweeted about it today. Yeah, tweeter. Gap fill 275, gap fill 259. You know, just opened the day at 291, ran up in the morning to 294 before pulling back to 288 and closing the day at 289.80. So, I mean, 300's there. You'd think that psychologically that's an area where it could run to, but we know the 1618 is right here. I mean, that's the reversal area. We're at the PRZ or PCZ, pattern completion zone, as well as the price reversal zone. This is it. And even if it sells off, you know, it doesn't have to be a major dump or something. It can just be a minor 20% pullback, whatever. Maybe filling one of these gaps before running again to, you know, the moon, man. The macro just keeps going. Bearish divergence on the 60-minute, whatever, man. 4 hours probably more important. And you got some MACD bearish divergence on the 4 hour, Sergio. You did bearishly engulf this morning, but just sideways, right? Rest of the day did not close at the high, you know, the height of your day. So yeah, maybe this divergence will play out to where we get a gap fill at 275. Just wild, man. You know what happens if this really does become a pivot point? So we start selling off a couple days next week. You got it, man. But we know we've talked about this before. We were down here and it's like it could be divergence there, but it's like just hold on, man. Wait for the 1618 because this could just keep climbing. It has, but now since we're at that PRZ PCZ, maybe this might happen, right? Where we get some bearish divergence. It's all about the pivot point. Definitely about the pivot point, man. But this is not valid yet. Got to start selling off a little bit on the price. Where's the spaceship? I don't know, man. I mean, Mandalorian's over, Star Wars is over. You know, I'm just much more comfortable in here, dude. Like I'm like in the other room, like I'm back against the wall. It looks amazing, right, to the viewer, but for me, it's like, you know, it's just not the same. I mean, this is where it all started for me. This is the original. You'll always remember the guy when anyone mentions Apple. Yeah, dude, me too. He's a meme. He's a legend. But he will live in infamy, he will not be famous, right? Infamy or fummy. He will not be fummy. Star Wars Over Party, it's sad, but man, what a good freaking finale, dude. Gotta love it. The cameo is just so good. And those cameos, I guarantee, will be get better and better each season too, because they announced, I think today, that Mandalorian's already approved for season 2. You know, you have to get the approved, you know, obviously. So they did, and I just can't wait for next season. The way it all ended. Spoiler alert. I mean, really, dude. If you consider the finale of a season 1 and it gets, you know, and they break on the news that it's gonna get a new season, that's not a spoiler. Okay, sorry. Alien invasions? Oh, is that true? I didn't know that was in the equation of insanity. I wouldn't worry about the impeachment at all. That's Rudy Poo. And obviously the market thought it was Rudy Poo, right? If the market would have thought that was serious and a big deal and wasn't people just throwing temper tantrums because they just can't handle it, I mean, the market would have responded accordingly, but they didn't. The stock market composite operators kept this thing flying to higher prices. So a lot of people think that there will be a pullback, you know, January 2020, which very well could happen. And that's what we saw in 2018, the beginning of 2018. So maybe history will repeat itself there, but there's a lot of value across the market. Even with all these assets at all-time highs and stuff, there's value. I'm telling you, dude, there is value across the markets. And you have to be able to find it. With S-Coins, it's not even that. You can't even do that. You can't even be like, oh yeah, let's go to the S-Coin market. Oh, there's value on this asset. Wait, This asset looks identical to these other 50 assets on the chart. They're the same thing, but they're all crap. And like, there's no liquidity, no volume. No one trades this stuff. Not really. Very illiquid. So it's just like, man. Oh my God.
Is that a joint?
Dana Melissa. The Our Jesus people's coming in. Thanks for the 2420. Wow. Beautiful. I remember the lights. Remember, I mean, there are advantages to streaming in here. Things that we get in here that we don't get in there, or we didn't get in there at the time, with all the soundboards and the light. And, you know, the lighting's, when I get attacked, different type of lighting. But I don't know, man. You gotta mix it up a little bit, because you definitely don't want me being in a spaceship to get old. Right, that's the last thing we're going for. You want that thing to be like, oh my God, we're in the spaceship today. So anyway, thank y'all so much. I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. And I wish you well in your bowl game. Holy crap. Let's go to the S-Coin market. Yeah, Julia, let's go. Wawa, what's $3 trillion into the banks for repos? Well, that money isn't going into stocks, right? So I mean, yeah, that's wild. I think that's something where you want to keep your eye on gold, right? If you think that's going to affect things, it's probably going to devalue the US dollar more than anything. And if that's the case, then you just, again, gold. And gold, what we can do is look at it right now. Gold, man. What did it do today? 1515, the overhead resistance, 100% retrace from November 1st. We made it, man. And so we are now at very critical areas. You know, once you broke the downsloping resistance, the Momo shift, the accumulation was signified. We talked about it. 38% retrace. You hit the golden zone, dude. So there's so much demand, there was so much demand on gold that from its previous low to high, there was a 38% sale on gold. And many people in this trend that is now bullish would think, hey man, 38% is enough. That's all I need. There's too much demand. So there you go. And that's why I think gold will continue on, because of all this stuff you just said. WABA, gold and silver. And you'd think maybe Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's kind of like possibly a hedge against the entire system, including gold, right? That could be argued. It's not a medium of exchange, really. That was like what it was supposed to be at first, and now obviously that's not really the case at all. It's way too volatile, and it's pretty slow, you know. So store value is kind of its case right now, but whatever, man. Bitcoin, you know, people want to talk crap about Bitcoin. It's still up 100% from this time last year. I would say that's pretty freaking good. Now, obviously, it's not at all-time highs, but okay, that's why you don't FOMO in on an asset that has gone parabolic and gained $15,000 in value in a matter of like a month or two or something that was going on in 2017. Yeah, that's, of course. But just from 52 weeks ago to now, pretty dang good performance on Bitcoin. Just saying. Not the altcoins. Again, not the S coins. They're trash, dude. They've all lost like 90% of their value from that December bottom. You're almost like back to break-even price if you were actually able to get into the exact dang bottom. That's altcoins. Okay, dude. Yeah, let me put money in an altcoin over like EA or PayPal or Amazon, right? What a joke, dude. Hard to defend. Because okay, if it's a speculative asset and market or whatever, well, all you can do is show me your performance. That's it. Your performance on the chart. Because you got nothing else. And their performance on the chart's trash. So I'm just not worried about it, right? As if you're serious about trading and care about trading, like, you shouldn't be that concerned. You look at it, you scan it, all right, okay, we're looking at it. Right? You must spend time scanning charts to look for opportunities. And you can look at the S-Coin market to US dollar pair or BTC pair, whatever you want, man, but it just takes away time where you could be looking at other assets on other markets. Okay. So something I saw, like, I knew PayPal was rounding out, but I didn't really see an ascending triangle until today. And dang, man, if we had not broken out of that ascending triangle and are just kind of back testing it now, or if we can break 111.65, I think we'll fill a gap, and the gap's up at 121.33, which is pretty much all-time highs. It is all-time highs. Okay, so this thing is rounding out. I mean, it's like a low, about the same low, a lower low, the lowest low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low. Look at, dude, we talking about the psychology of accumulation. Hello, anyone? Where when demand increases for an asset, the angle of ascent steepens. Is that not exactly what's happening on PayPal? Is that not exactly what happened on Nvidia and Activision in COP, right? Angle of ascent. Okay, so PayPal, you know, you really want PayPal to probably stay above 108.41, but if we can in time, I think you'll test 111.65. If you break 111.65, you'll be filling gaps, and there is a major gap fill again at all-time highs. So PayPal Connect. And really, hey man, you know what? The strongest thing like ever, U.S. consumer sentiment, right? This is a way to tap into that, you know, since it's so strong. People using this stuff. Yeah, I mean, AT&T, though, you got to worry about. It's dead. I think it's like got some of the most debt ever, like out of any. I mean, I know they dropped some, but I know AT&T has stupid amounts of debt. And it was a trade that I've got some shares still left from its entry. You remember that one, dude. That thing went nuts. Once it back tested, the Wyckoff, the back test of the spring, and it broke out of the downsloping channel, it was gone, man. It was beautiful. Yeah, well, you call that market rotation, Spock Talk. You mean maybe crypto marijuana? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But you just got to think about crypto. The good thing about crypto, for all the crap I would say about it, right? You got to like the fact that it is pretty, I mean, it's extremely illiquid if we compare it to all traditional markets, right? It's almost inexistent liquidity versus those markets. So the good thing is, like Spock Talk was saying, that is what happens, man. Like, you know, so the stock market was hitting like all-time highs, you know, just like a week and a half ago or so, 2 weeks ago. And guess what, man? Besides Apple, many other assets in the FANG, right? Like Netflix and Amazon were not even really that close to all-time highs. So what does that mean? It can't just be only Apple that's making the S&P 500, you know, hit all-time highs. There's money in other assets where there was value. You look at the video game sector, real estate sector, all these different sectors are helping drive the market up. So, but what happened before that? What happened before all that? Well, guess what? You know, Amazon was eventually hitting all-time highs, and Apple was too, and Netflix was before their corrections and their blow-off tops. Video games, everything, right, was up there. So there was a lot of money in that going into that, and so it came out and went to the other parts of the market rotation. So you could see a little bit just in the past week and a half or 2 weeks, money flowing into energy, right? Because there might be value, because a lot of those assets were at 88, 90%, 100% retraces from their 2016 or 2008 lows. So, yeah, man, it's the way it works, market rotation. People are probably now taking profit on Apple because it's at a golden mean ratio. It's near $300, and it's gone nonstop up there, right? People probably buying insurance for their longs. They might not be selling their longs. It just might be whatever, buying puts or taking shorts, whatever. While it and then would sell off and retrace, and then eventually make a 38%, 50%, 61% retrace or fill those gaps, and then it pivots, and then it runs again to all-time highs. And then that's when they, their strike price would hit or something, or they know where their target would be with the gap fill, or they use Fibonacci, and then they would close those positions, and they've had their longs, and all they were doing was just breaking even, right? They let go of those options, and then their long continues on by itself, and they continue making profit, right? So that's what's going on. And we're going today. I don't know, probably Uber, Edwin, because they have helicopters now. Pretty freaking cool. Ooh. Oh, hold on a sec. Again. So yeah, Bitcoin 7,229. Get above 7,400. God. Come on. Still being saved, really. Come on, YouTube. There we go. All right. So just at PayPal, man, just be on the lookout. And then it's like the one, you know, I was setting off the alarms last night to annoy you. Sorry. So, not Exxon. Sorry, it's Chevron, dude. Exxon's interesting though, because if you see where we are, we're at 67.29. That's not just a random horizontal line, chat. Look left. It's a very critical area, man. Extremely. 2011, 2015. You fell below it. You back. Look at this rally, and now here we are again. Now breaking that stupid. If you break that for real and don't have this like you've done every time, you've just had this knee-jerk reaction to the upside. If you break it for real, I mean, you could dump hard to much lower prices, like 55.82 or so. But if this can hold, which it looks like there's a little bit of accumulation going on. This was a textbook Gartley, man. And it did rally. So for a trade or something, it played out. But look, it's still holding on and staying above that critical area. But sorry, I wasn't even meaning to go to this one. Why is this not on my watch? I mean, I know it is, but I think I messed up my order. What is it? CVX, duh. So this one looks similar to Amazon. All right, now it is at that 200-day moving average. And it's, you know, sold off a little bit today. It's not down much anything, but you know, what I would want to see on Chevron is, you know, or what I wish I would have wanted to see would have been like, you know, not so much distribution. You know, like Amazon wasn't as steep of a descent on its neckline as this, so it could almost just be argued it's a neutral pattern, like a triangle, where you have accumulation, but you also have at the same time distribution. But the thing to think about on this, you know, Bulkowski patterns aside, is the fact that 114.65 is a very critical, very critical horizontal line support. And what have we done as of recent? I mean, most of the time you hold it. If you don't hold this, you go down to 102, 103. But look, we held it, we fell below it, we sprung, we back tested the spring, right? Yeah, Wyckoff. And now we're showing even more accumulation on a right shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, Momo shift, man. So whatever, just having a stop below, a little bit below 114 is prudent, right? That's a pretty safe stop, you know, because again, if it really does break this, it probably would go down to much lower levels, 108 to 103. So, but if it breaks the neckline, man, then, I mean, you know, that's what the crappy thing about this is, like, you know, it's down sloping. So overhead resistance, each one, 122, 125, 127, all of them will play a role as a resistance. So you would think, though, if we could break that down sloping resistance, maybe in time we'd see 127, which is, you can clearly see overhead resistance. So we could hit that before selling off. But eventually, I mean, a measured move of this pattern, if it really does break out and stay out, and if sentiment continues to rise on energy, right, with this being one of the behemoths, you know, you break 127 and then see a measured move of this pattern, which is very close to all-time highs right here. All-time highs back in July 2014, just before the oil glut for OPEC flooded the market with stupid amounts of supply. And now they've cut back a crap load of supply. So that's really, you know, they're the ones that created this crazy glut. They're now the reason why demand is increasing on oil, for real. Pretty wild. If we want to switch it and go to like an S coin, we could look at something that's a little different. It's about the same, but a little different. You got yourself Ethereum Classic, which, you know, was at like 100% retrace, and then it broke out of the downtrend and actually climbed, and was kind of, the past few days has been outperforming other assets, other altcoins. Right here, you know, it's nice, very nice, right? 100% retrace. So if you held this for 52 weeks, you didn't make a dime until it bounced, and now you're up. So it hadn't even hit a 23% retrace. It has yet to make any kind of higher high than the previous high, major high. All of a sudden made lower highs and really lower lows. This is your previous major swing low. So you'd think that this would eventually see $5. That's a 23% retrace. And then you'll struggle at 533. That's a major overhead resistance. I mean, you look left, 533. If you can get above that, man, wow. How the heck do you do that, you know? With this market, unless Bitcoin does something. But if you do it, man, you break 533, you should easily see 595 to 744, the golden zone, right? Where any asset on a traditional market, this is the way we would chart it. Okay.
Bruh.
What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all. Haven't really engaged with chat much. We just been going, man. A lot of stuff happening. Great week. What a good freaking week, man. What's up, MCG and Graham Gap? Did you say you were missing church for this stream? I think you said that, like, the first comment. What's up, Bingo Bananas and Young Love? And there's Ben's 420, man. Thanks again, dude. Hey, Corn Trader. What's up, Mrs. Gonzalez? Robert D. All right. So, another one that's kind of interesting. American Airlines, what's it doing, man? Good question. Look at this chart. This is like the whole life of the chart, where it's just at this like all-time low level, you know, double bottomed, rallied, broke the neckline, is back below it. It's like you know, pattern pretty much failed on that double bottom. But you know, look at the left shoulder, double head, maybe a right shoulder. It is symmetrical somewhat, a little bit, but I really don't like that steep descent. That's like lots of distribution going on. So it's almost like, is this just a descending triangle, man? You know, so bearish, but my God, man, this thing since January of 2018 has gotten murdered. You know, it hit a high, all-time high of $58.98. Now it's $28.44. Lost over half its value. What, 2-year period? Yeah, 2 years. But the thing is, look at the angle of descent is just, you know, pretty bad. Now it's not as bad, and there's support. There's finally maybe value areas down here. So if you do break 28, I was really like, if you break like $30.
Nice content this stream.
Bruh.
Dang, are you implying, Sir Fishing, Fort Morgan, Alabama, that this other streams are not nice content?
Bruh.
Thank you, dude, for the 10. So I should be after stream going out with a friend or two to get some drinks and food and, you know, revel in the glory of the year of 2019, which has been one of the best ever in the years I've been on this planet. It's been wonderful. I mean, a lot of that's thanks to y'all for giving so many amazing memories and whatever, all the stuff we've learned together. You know, we're all in this journey of life together, so it's more fun to, you know, be a part of a community, you know, where people are like-minded, because it's just not as fun, man, when you have something you care about, you love, you have a passion for, and you got no one to talk to about, right? You lose your mind. So thanks for doing that. Yeah, no spaceship today, Mark a lot. I mean, you know, I think we've kind of, you know, had some really good experiences on the spaceship, but that's okay. Switching it up. It's not like I can't just go back. I could go live right now and probably 5 minutes I could get live up on my other stream and be in the spaceship, but just mixing it up, dude. Break the monotony. Keep it special. Benjamin's son. You tuned in the last 1 minute of my stream last night and you were super high. You were super high, dude.
Is that a joint?
And it was just spaceship with that music. It's pretty dank music, he says. Ooh. Using dank. What's up? Yeah, dude. It's an epic thing, dude. What we do with the ship. I mean, always possible, Jose. Yeah. Always possible we could see a correction in the stock market. That's not a big deal. They deleted the chart history. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, like, from looking, it's just, you can't say you're not at, like, whoa, crazy areas. Now you break this, right? You can use fib extensions, but my God, you're not going to like what you see. So anyway, just interesting look, right? Let's go to Amazon, right? Our darling. The trade, man. The slanted inverse head and shoulders trade. And we just showed you Chevron that looks very similar. You know, this descent wasn't as steep. Oh man, it was looking good a lot earlier in the day. It's pulled back some. Man, got as high as 1902. And that's okay. I do think that in time, Amazon could come to back test. We can come down to 1815 before running again. Okay, so I mean, you're above the 200-day moving average, which is very nice. You've been struggling for a while on it. But eventually you'd think that we'll see 1973 to fill a gap. And just with the fundamentals, man, the numbers. I mean, why not in this market? Wait, sir, fishing for Morgan, Alabama didn't answer, dude. Is he snickering, though? Welcome home from space, Mr. Lodick. Thanks, dude. Thanks for the homecoming. Chinese dragon, what? What are y'all talking about? To Fat Gains 2020, yep, there will always be opportunity. And more opportunity than you know if you can actually signify value. You understand what it means to see value. You understand what it means when there's accumulation, when you see breakouts of overhead resistance or downsloping resistance or, you know, supports. Like, that's stuff I try to teach in here so you can do it yourself. You don't have to rely on somebody giving you the fishing pole. And sometimes we find the fish. Like, this was definitely a fish. Amazon was a certain fish that you were hand delivered with Amazon Prime Capo. So maybe you'll get a chance again at 1812, and that's maybe where people would take a long again to add to their position. So popcorn. Office is the same. Yeah, I haven't moved yet. Right now, the way real estate is and how I'm in just such a good position financially, I want to keep it that way. I mean, why break something or why fix something that isn't broken? I mean, even though, you know, I'd probably be a little bit happier somewhere else. I'm grinding it out, man. One day at a time. Long on my viewers. Don't you mean short on my viewers, Rich? It can only get worse, right? It can only get worse. I think we only had last night like 120 people watching, maybe max. I'm like, oh my God, I'm back down to 1,000 subs again. Pretty much the same thing. But it's really made me think about just going to Twitch and trying to pick, maybe people will find me there. Some new people, rim logs from there. I had no idea about that till he, told me about it. I'm sure there are people that are rational there that are looking. Same people are looking for stuff on YouTube, right? I guess we can go to Ethereum, dude. Whatever. It's almost like I'm insulting Amazon by going to Ethereum. Okay, holding above the critical 125, 124, right? You had to hold. You're holding now. Divergence is still there. You're starting to build positive momentum, but the price is not really going anywhere yet. This is log scale. So if Bitcoin can rally to its respective Fibonacci targets, right, the common retraces between 82 and 8600, then Ethereum, depending on how sensitive it is to that price action on Bitcoin, could easily run up to 145, the next resistance. But there is the most major resistance, it seems like, would be maybe around 160 or so. So when will this play out? The only thing the divergence has done is given us a nice big green candle, bullish engulfing on Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, many other altcoins. I think even, Ethereum Classic we're talking about. So the divergence, is it done? Not sure, right? It takes time. If you're looking at the daily time scale, you better be patient. You better be real patient. But if you're patient, there's a stronger reliability on the daily than there is the 4 hour, the 60 minute, and all the others. It's funny, MK sent me something. It was like an article or something showing all the different tax havens in the United States, and guess which one was the absolute cheapest? We'll just go to it. Oh my god, dude, get out of here! Freaking these websites. Okay, let's okay, property tax collections. See if I can zoom in. Okay, perfect. Oh, that's beautiful. We can see it all right there. So you tell me, chat. I'm going to leave it to you. Which state has the absolute lowest property tax collections? I'll wait for it. I'll wait. But this article is mainly about millennials are getting the F out of Cali because stagnant wages on top of cost of living, cost of goods going up like crazy, but also the government's taking more money out of your pocket, as well as corporatism, right? Everything's rising except wages. So Californian millennials are done with it, dude. Agent got it. Agent Bambi, yelp. Nah, D-Live's trash, dude. D-Live, I'm never going back to D-Live, dude. No one's ever. It's like the meme, dude, from Mean Girls. Stop trying to make D-Live a thing. It's not going to become a thing. Yeah, lucky, I guess, right? No, there's no guess. Like, you don't guess. You literally look and it tells you, right? Of all of them. Anyway. No, Edwin, I'm just saying. Someone's asking why I haven't moved yet, and it's like, I'm in an actually really, really good position financially, and what's the point in rocking the boat? Dude, it's like, what I do, you just never know when it'll end, right? I mean, think about it. Like, all this stuff happening to content creators, YouTube's terms of service, whatever, doom and gloom, all this craziness, the shift. It's like, who knows, man? Are my days numbered? So it's like, I got to be frugal and try to, you know, don't be stupid. Maybe I'm making money. It's like, but who knows if it will end, when it will end, right? So you just act like it could end tomorrow. So no demand. Yeah, pretty much, right? Never mind, man. Yeah, well, if only people gave a crap about production quality, right? They clearly don't. It's like Phil Hillmuth saying, if luck, what is it? What did he say? If luck wasn't involved, I'd win every time, or something, right? If production was the only thing involved, I'd win every time. Favang, though, it's all a joke, dude. It's all like the announce, or like their PR person said it was a mistake, and those striked and warned channels are being uplifted, so they've responded. So it's really not that big a deal, but still. No, I'm not tired of winning yet, Adam. No. Young Love, yeah, only a select few obviously think that, right? That's okay. So Litecoin, right? 39.50, right? Critical support, had to hold. You're still holding, and you're trying to bullishly engulf right now. It's a small candle, but it checks out. And you're downtrend. You've lost 88% of your value. This is log scale, so it doesn't look like that, but you truly have in linear scale from a low to high, like 88%, 90%. So what does that mean? There might be value now at these areas on these altcoins. You think about it, if we look at it like we would energy or any other traditional market, maybe the altcoins are at value areas, but it's receiving value on this in this market is a little bit more tough because it's literally only speculation and momentum. It's nothing else. It's not like these guys are searching for, you know, oil refineries or whatever. They're looking for oil discovery, right? They're not creating hats or doing anything else. They're just virtual cryptos, man. Virtual currencies, just sitting there not doing much of anything to help anybody. And no one's adopting it. No one's like, there's no mass adoption of any of these cryptos. So what does it do? That's what makes it harder to signify value in crypto. For Litecoin, critical support. Just like Ethereum, critical support. Bitcoin is not really at its critical support. Critical support's like 6,800, 6,850. It's just below a critical resistance, and which we would like to see it finally freaking break for real and go make those common retraces, the common everyday retraces, dude. Where are they, man? Where's the dragon? Well, you gotta remember, the dragon is in a downtrend, right? So it's a bullish pattern and bearish trend as it stands now on Bitcoin. So the reliability and its performance might not be that great. So instead of hitting a 50% 619, maybe we only hit a 382 again, which is what we've already hit, I think. At nearly $7,700, $7,800. Okay. That's Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin. I guess we can go to XRP now. Which is the wedge. The wedge, man. Linear. Not a lot. You just dude, you're sitting there. You just started, you made your first positive momentum histogram wick since December 16th. As you can see today, the day is closing in 10 minutes. If you can break, if this can all play out, you should at least see 20 cents for the shallowest of shallow retraces. That's pathetic, by the way. You hit a 23% retrace and you dump, that means there's absolutely no demand for this crap. But what you would commonly see is between the 382 and the 618, you'd see between 22.8 cents to 26.114 cents. So again, what if this comes back down and you know makes a candle low close at 17.5 pennies? Maybe the RSI and we pivot there. Maybe we get some RSI, tail end RSI bullish divergence, and there might be opportunity for, you know, again, if this thing is to actually respect TA, it's going to be hard if Bitcoin dumps. But if Bitcoin rises like it probably should, based on wave analysis and the divergence, you'd think that eventually we would run up to make a 50% retrace to back test these critical areas, say from way back 2018. It's just common, man. What's that? Park Life, Thomas Fitzgerald? Oh, I get it. His name's Park Life. He says XRP to take #1 spot 2020. No, it won't. It won't do that, dude. But good luck. Good luck, man. Yeah, you sound like every other moon boy I've ever heard. Oh, that's cool. Isra today received Bitcoin for a printer that he sold. Very cool, man. How long did it take to get in your wallet? Probably like 5, 10, 15 minutes, right? I don't know. It used to be a lot longer when there were more people in the market, right? The more people that are using transactions or even buying and selling Bitcoin, right? Doesn't the whole network, it slows down? It takes longer to get to you. Yeah, Jose, there we go. Maybe that's more, you know, reasonable. Cabo. Neither of them are really that reasonable. It's just more like 589's a joke. It's a meme. And keep our eye on the price, right? It's either this goes down to make some more bullish divergence, or it breaks out. We run up to 20 cents, hopefully break it if there's demand. And you would see a common retrace between 22.8 to 26.1 cents. That's it, dude. So you'd think, I mean, this one, not much, right? This isn't like value area. I mean, like, yeah, besides the potential shorter term trade setup, I mean, we could try to Fibonacci from this low or this low, and maybe we're probably at an 88% retrace, right? This is before any of the pump happened. This is like, it wasn't even 1 penny yet down here in March of 2017. So, yeah, man, it doesn't look the same. This chart's much different than Bitcoin's. What's up, I kind of pwn? Is Lightning taken off at all yet? No, I don't think so, man. Sure, they're continuing, the developers are continuing to work on it, but no, I don't think it's really done that much. All right, okay, so we looked at the big ones. We look at VeChain, I guess, right? It's up, man. It's up 3%. Holy crap. But we're not concerned with that, really, right? We're kind of more concerned with value areas. And where we are is not much of a, I mean, you know, there's reversal areas, but if we're able to identify a potential complex pattern, why will we not just wait for the price to come to us? Why let this market play us when at least we could play it by waiting for this area, right? There's no divergence, right? You're just running up, making it high to low, common retrace. And you're looking for, look, you get down to this area, it's a slightly lower low than this low, and then we show that. That's the buy signal, not what we're doing now. You're just randomly buying now. Like, what? Wait for it to make sense and have an argument for why you're buying or shorting something. Versus just, I feel like it's gonna go up, man. Yeah, Matt, we already looked at Ethereum Classic. Get wrecked. The late worm gets wrecked. That's the quote. Been around for thousands of years. Same thing. VeChain not doing things. Yeah, it's doing things. It's been doing things, but now we wait. I am grateful that we have the opportunity to be able to see something and we know where the value is. And it's like this lines up with looking left, looking here, listening, right? Value areas with critical supports to back up that claim of value. Very nice. So we wait. Dude, I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna have to, if I keep this. I've been live now like an hour. I don't even know how time does that. It feels like I've been live for like 10 minutes, dude. That was a literal hour gone by. I don't understand. I'll be right back. I'm right here.
Bruh.
Yeah, VFF, very interesting development today, up nearly 8%. And not too far off from the, I mean, it's really, we close, like where the entry kind of for the trade was, is where the asset has run to today. So it's like, you know, I'm in this. I haven't made anything on this. And that's okay, dude. It's not like, you know, again, man, position sizing, being diversified, it's very important. You can't just be like, I'm all in on VFF. That would suck, dude. Imagine being all in on this. You know, you're just playing the technicals, value area, critical support looking left, the divergence. And it seems, though, that we developed, I think a patron even brought this up, we developed even more divergence, which is very true. Look from this low to the lower low. Right here. You can see it right there, and then I'll show you on the MACD how we were also, we continued to diverge. Right, a low, a lower low, a slightly lower low, just a little bit below that 786, maybe 80% retrace. Okay, and your MACD was very similar. Look, we had a low, and then you had that slightly lower low, almost inexistent negative momentum. So continued. And so now we're breaking the upside, but will the Gartley play out? Oh, I don't know, man, because like, you see, if it does play out, this could go to much higher prices. If you think about this, look here, listen, it's a falling wedge. It seems like it would be a falling wedge of some sort. I mean, you got this right here. You can kind of see that down sloping price contraction. Not like perfect, but look at that. I mean, if you anchor 1 and 2 and 3, you've broken out today of that wedge. So I've just like, you know, it's been sitting there. It's been, you know, weighing down my other trades that are going well, and that's okay. It's fine. But now, like today, this helped my portfolio, man. It ran back up. Now we're back to kind of break-even price. It only took us to. We made it, you know, we had to hit 8% gains on a day to do that, but you're hoping for follow-through price action now with this very nice bullish engulfing candle to end the week on decent volume. All right, so breaking back above 655, very important. Got to do that. 650, 660. But then if this major, I'm talking momentous size, talking December 2018 to now, this is to play out, eventually you'd see 1045 to 1336. Let's just say 1337. For the elite, you know, elite number, whatever. Yeah, well, calls different ball game, man. Options are different ball game. Oh, young love, man. So, but you were in on this in August. Remember, man, it's like when in doubt, always zoom out. Always look at that major previous low, Fibonacci it low to high, and you'll have context. You'll understand if there's much value or not. You'll be like, oh, we're at a 50% retrace. There's some value. If you're in a bull trend, man, that's definitely a potential reversal area. You know, you think about the more shallow in an overall bull trend of an asset, those 382, 50%, 618, you could reverse at any time and continue the uptrend. But if the trend isn't as clear, right? If the sector's not doing well, man, you're looking for the 786s and the 886s, maybe even the 100% sometimes. So, and you really want to find these complex patterns, these harmonics. Very helpful. Quasi-Tulip says, what up, dude? I've been diversifying, not just in stocks, but in my life. Gotta work now. Have a good day. That's awesome, Quasi-Tulips, to hear. Diversifying, yeah, not just your portfolio, but everything in life is very important. Balance. Balance is very important. What is it, Julia says? New decade upon us. Good time to reflect on all you've learned and gained the past 10 years, folks. Get rid of the last remnants of the old and outdated. Implement those plans for the next 10 to come. Gang style. I mean, if it's like a no trend, you know, if it's a no trend, I'd be way more confident if we're getting to looking left critical supports and 786s and 886s. Look, I mean, was it not reasonable for me to think about this as an opportunity for a long because of all the critical supports looking left, as well as the pattern identified, the 786? Near the 1618. I think this hit from B to C a 1618. Maybe not quite. Oh, sweet mother of God.
Look here! Look, listen!
I mean, it pretty much hit the golden mean ratio from B to C before reversing. So you think, hopefully, if this is to pan out, much higher prices to go on a breakout today.
Hype in the chat!
Or VFF, Village Farms International. Isn't this marijuana? Agricultural milling? Never mind. Someone was talking about marijuana. I don't know. Someone's like, can you look at Tezos? Yeah, we look at it. And it broke the demand line. It's selling off now. So, we've already got you taken care of here from your low to your high. Candle low close to candle high close. You hit a 38% retrace. So, you've hit the golden zone, but again, you'd probably feel safer down here. Dude, again, it's crypto. I don't know. This was a stupendous run, and you would think that it's like a trade that has played out and it's over now for the most part. And hey, man, stay outside of the downtrend, I guess, and that's good. But I mean, this eventually could see $1.12, right? A golden retrace. Last thing you want is to fall back into the channel, but and that's 200-day moving average is right around where that 618 is. That's it, man. I think, whenever this bottoms and pivots, we'll get an attempted rally, make a lower low, a double top, or a higher high before dumping again and creating maybe another harmonic. Okay. No, young love, I know that. I'm just talking about someone was mentioning VFF and marijuana. I don't know why. No, Kenatomo, but there is a PLNT, which is Planet Fitness. So you got that going for you, which is nice. All right, man. Been live 1 hour and 4 minutes. You join the live stream, hit that like button, the bell, sub, I guess, if you want. Doesn't matter. Go back to Bitcoin. Daily candle closed, a new one's open. Here you are in the midst of a downtrend, a correction been going on. Over 170 days now. So just sitting there, not making lower lows yet. Looking, where are we going to pivot? We're going to pivot here. That's great. Then break above 7,400 and stay the F above it, man. I mean, I'm just done with this 7,400 area. look left. It's so important. Like, you failing to break it, it's not good. You got to break that and stay above it and then back test it and regard it as support instead of running up and then, crapping through it and then crapping back below it. And just, these are important areas. You've got to break 7,400, 7,700, 8,500 one at a time, then back test them. Excuse me. And if we want to, just real quick, since we haven't yet, we can just take a gander at the futures chart, which is almost identical to the spot price right now. When you lack volatility, the spread evens out on both, so it's about the same. 72.65 versus 72.35 on spot. Where there's your dragon, there's the spine of the dragon. And you've broken out, so you would think that we filled the gap too. Gap is certainly filled from last weekend. And you think the next move is up just to make common scrub everyday retraces. 82 to 8,600 and 8,800 if you're lucky. Follow planet a little, man. You're right. No, thanks for the 100 likes. Maybe we should just do fireworks since it's actually a large feat to get 100 likes now. There are your fireworks, I guess. Okay, so go to Bitcoin dominance. We can just making sure everyone's kind of up to speed. That's kind of what I try to do on these streams, and it's like clearly and continuing to increase in total crypto market cap dominance. That's Bitcoin with 52-week highs, 72.74%. Does look like it's very possible we could see that again, which is not good for altcoins, but great for Bitcoin. All right, rounding out somewhat. And like right at that December of 2017 level before the ICO boom devastated this chart. It's all back now. Bullish Bitcoin. I mean, bullish in the regards of based on divergence, based on the critical 6,800 that we've bounced off of twice and held. You'd think that we would make a common retrace, which doesn't mean we're breaking out to the upside. I mean, reversing the trend or anything like that. It just means that you'd think we'd go up, make a 61% retrace, 50% retrace, and then dump again to maybe double bottom, triple bottom, or make a lower low. So great, man. Rounding out on market cap dominance, which is good for Bitcoin, bad for altcoins. If you want altcoins to perform, this chart's not really good for you. Yeah. And then you look at where is it? The tricks with the US, just regular US dollar. There it is. So, this is the idea of the dragon. We broke out, and you shouldn't just dump again. Even though you could, you dump again, I think what'll happen is if you go down one more time, it's going to be real tough to break 6,800, 6,600 area. Just because if you dump once more, this RSI is going to get down, and we could show triple RSI bullish divergence if we go down to square up. What's the square up? Well, let's go to the shorter time scales, less significant time scales. To see the square up. Well, let's square up at 8,059, clear as day, right there. Also a square up right at 66.42. If You go to square up again. I think on the daily, we could actually have even more exhaustion from the sellers. But that is a certain square up. And really, like, you broke to the upside. And look, this was a square up at 7,200. We squared up. And now it's going sideways and not really doing anything. You know, you sold off, and it could easily just go down to the 6,600 to, you know, for the exchange or exchanges to, right, offload their positions at a break-even price before it runs again. And if you got down there again, what I'm saying is, oh my God, what just happened? Sorry. What can happen? You know, it's like if we weren't to just go up because demand just sucks on this asset when gold is getting closer and closer to, you know, 52-week highs, or you could even call it like 6 to 8 year highs or something like that. You know, we go down one more time to, you know, get that square up. We get down here, and it's like the RSI just does this, man. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, man, we got like triple RSI divergence. And then it's like almost like inverse head and shoulder stuff, right, going on. That's also a possibility before it would run again if it was to. So we're just plotting out the scenarios here of what could happen just based on this. Just, you know, we got the run and just nope, not enough demand yet. $82 to 8,600 conservative target if it's to run up. But I just talked about how it might not run up. It might go and commit even more divergence. All right. Friday streams. Whew. Thursday streams. Every stream while this market is like this, dude. Great for confidence as a streamer. That's a definite reality. This is great for my confidence. Yeah, showing up, and it's just everything's continuing to deteriorate. Viewer counts. But when will it get to a point when I'm at like less than 100 viewers show up for my stream? I mean, if Bitcoin goes sideways for the next 6 months, 3 months, I'm dead. I'm done. Like, there might not be literally any demand left. So that sucks. But whatever, man. You are now maybe more aware of the scenarios that could occur. But we think that because of the divergence that happened, we'd get more fall through price action. It just hasn't happened yet. And that might just be because it's the daily. And it takes time for stuff to develop. All right? So I guess that's it, man. I guess I'm going to go enjoy my Friday night, man. You know? I'm going to go do that. So thanks for coming out. Thank you, Surf Fishing, Fort Morgan, Alabama, and Dan and Melissa for the contributions. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm out of here. So thanks for coming by. Till next time. Respect the T. Hey.